What's up YouTube? Jeff back again from DopeTechDaily.com. Today I'm bringing you guys a quick and short Q&A to answer a lot of questions that have come up in the ZTE Axon 7 videos. Now those videos have gotten really popular. I want to appreciate and thank everybody out there who liked, people who subscribed off those videos, who commented. I just haven't had a chance to respond to all of them. I tried to do my best. I think I got to most people, but there were also a lot of questions that kept coming up over and over again about this phone. So I've been covering this phone. I want to keep covering this phone because people seem interested in it. So I want to go ahead and do this Q&A and try to get some things out of the way. A lot of people ask, why don't I do Q&A for every single phone I get? Well, you guys know YouTube's not my full-time job. So if a video is not that popular, if a phone's not that popular, I don't do it. But when the phone is that popular and people are interested, I'll do it, no problem. So the first thing that's come up about this phone, people want to know, is it compatible with Verizon and Sprint? Well, the answer to the Sprint question is I have no idea because I don't have a Sprint SIM. That's the only one of the three major carriers I don't actually have. So I can't tell you for sure, but I can tell you a lot about my Verizon experience, and you can probably infer whether or not it's going to work on Sprint from that. So yesterday I stuck my Verizon SIM here in the Axon 7. I took it out. I took it using it inside my house on LTE, went out to the movies, to a restaurant, and I can tell you Verizon is not a good idea on this phone. Now you're going to be able to pick up LTE if you're in a major Verizon sort of area here in Phoenix. You pick up LTE, it gives you a little roaming notification at the top tray and tells you you're roaming with LTE on Verizon. Then after about an hour, it kicks you off the LTE network. You can't get any service at all, not even 3G. I have to reboot the phone in order to get the LTE back, come back for about an hour, and do the same thing over and over again. So I'm guessing that's because this phone's not certified on Verizon's network. And of course, I already have an active Verizon SIM. So if it doesn't work for someone with an active SIM already, if you try to get a new SIM and put it in there, probably not going to work either. I would stay away from Verizon on this phone. T-Mobile and AT&T both work perfectly. I'm guessing Sprint's not going to work that great either because of my experience with Verizon. The next thing that's come up is the capacitive versus the on-screen keys. Now, a lot of people, I mentioned this in the last video, but this has come up a lot. In some of the pre-production videos of this on Phone Arena and some other places, they showed it with on-screen buttons. It doesn't have on-screen buttons, as you guys can actually see here. It's got capacitive keys now, and they're right there at the bottom. I showed them in the last video. So this thing does not have on-screen buttons. They made a last-second change. ZTE went with the capacitive keys. That's what you're going to get if you buy the phone. Also, there is no option to change it back to on-screen keys. They could add that in a software update, but who knows if they will. The next thing people asked is the Bootloader Unlock. That's a great question, an important question for this to compete with the OnePlus 3, because of course the OnePlus 3 has got a lot of development for it. You can easily unlock it, you can root it, all that good stuff. So far, the bootloader is not unlocked on the Axon 7, but ZTE has said that they are listening to customers who say they want it unlocked because, of course, this is a very good price on this phone. It's a GSM phone. People want to be able to mod it to be able to unlock the bootloader, get some custom ROM development going. So they said they're going to be considering that. I'll update you guys if they do come up with an unlock method, but I don't know any more about that at this point. A few other questions. Battery life. People asked what kind of battery life I was getting. You guys saw in the first cycle, I found out that it actually doesn't tell you the on-screen time in the stock settings battery manager. So I downloaded GSM battery monitor for my second power cycle. I got about 4 hours screen on time, and that's just using everything. Pokemon Go, taking some camera test shots, using social media, going hard on these YouTube comments and responding to them. So pretty heavy usage, got about 4 hours. Right now I'm on my third total cycle, and I'll report back and let you guys know about the battery life. That's just an update. It's kind of hard to say something about battery life until I get to the end of my full week review, because you want to sort of give it a chance over the general whole entire week and sort of see what the average battery life is. Someone asked again about the Arabic language. It's not supported here. You've got English, Spanish, French, and then people pointed out to me in the comments that the two Chinese options are actually Chinese and then simplified Chinese. I don't know a lot about the Chinese language, but that's what I was told. So those are the options that are available on the stock ROM. A couple people asked about the screen quality compared to the S7 Edge. This isn't a AMOLED panel. It's not quite as bright outside. Of course, I've been using it here in Phoenix, so I get some of the best opportunities to test screen brightness. This phone is bright, but it's not as bright as the S7 Edge. Samsung always saves the best AMOLED panels for themselves, and that's just a fact. It's not bad though. It's quite good, better than any LCD panel I've seen. Good viewing angles outside, no problems at all with that. The next question people asked, did I test the audio? So I'm hoping to make a separate audio video, but I have tested the speakers. the front-facing stereo speakers, they are awesome. They are very comparable to the Nexus 6P in loudness and in clarity. I want to sort of do a full comparison video to sort of, maybe we can sort of hash out the details, but I can tell you up front, these are a great set of speakers. Also, the hi-fi audio DAC on this thing is just unbelievable. If you plug a nice set of headphones into here, you're going to have a really great experience. So in terms of the audio, I would definitely say that is a good reason to get this phone. I said the same thing about the Axon Pro last year. ZTE really steps it up with the audio. The next thing, of course, is the camera. So the camera on this phone, so far I've been kind of meh on the camera. I don't want to say it's bad, but it has a little bit of an issue with overexposing some shots when you have good lighting, and then also in low light, it's not nearly as good as the S7 Edge. So if you're taking something out at night, or if you're taking something in a dark room, you're not going to quite get as good of a shot as you might on the S7 Edge, or even the Moto Z Force Droid, which I just unboxed yesterday. I've done a couple of pictures and sort of compared them sort of informally, and I would say the camera is a little bit better on that phone as well. It's not bad. The main comparison I know people want to see is the OnePlus 3. Right now, I think the OnePlus 3 is probably ahead of this phone, just a little bit. That's in my personal opinion. The next question is, someone asked about the dual SIM capabilities. It does have dual SIM. I didn't show that in the video. I'll try to show that in the full review, putting 2 active SIMs in there, because of course I have 2 active SIMs, and see what kind of data speeds you get on each one. If you can use one for data and one for calls, I know you can. Someone asked if you're going to get 3G on one of those. I'll test that. And then, of course, also you have the option to use a SIM card and then also the micro SD card. You can put up to a 256 gigabyte card in this phone. Trying to remember if there's any other questions. I think that might be it. Let me check really quick here on the comments. Oh, yes. Someone asked, what about the warning label that says that the phone is known to cause cancer to the state of California? That label is on a lot of stuff from California. The state government in California is just super paranoid and crazy. The phone's not going to give you cancer. It just has to do with some of the components that are put into the phone. I think that was also on an LG G4 Quick Circle video I did, so don't worry too much about that. A couple people commented on that as well. Some people asked if I would recommend getting this over an iPhone. Of course, I would recommend you getting this over an iPhone because I'm an Android fan. But I mean, at the end of the day, I think the screen quality is better. The camera, I don't know, the iPhone camera might be a little bit better. I think the battery life is pretty comparable. The audio quality is much better on this phone. So, of course, I would recommend that. Oh, here's another big one, the LED notification light. Yes, this phone does have an LED notification light. It's just hidden at this top black bar. So you can get LED notifications on here. It also has double tap to wake, which is something someone else asked. Will the phone be available for Sprint? Again, I already answered that. They're not going to sell it on a carrier. Someone asked me also if the 6 gigabyte version is coming to the US. There's a 6 gigabyte version with 128 gigabytes of storage. It also has Force Touch like the iPhone. It's not called Force Touch because they don't want to get sued by Apple or whatever. But anyway, that version's only coming to China, probably because they don't want to bring it here to the US and get sued by Apple in a US court. So if I can import that, I'll try, but it's probably going to be pretty expensive. I don't know if it's necessarily worth getting that version over this one. It does have 6 gigabytes of RAM. You've got Force Touch. There's a few other upgrades on that version, but I don't know if there's anything that stands out that would really make me want to pay all that extra money if in the US. It's probably going to cost you twice as much money because I saw some listings on eBay. There's some there for about 800 bucks. And then I think the last question was about the FM radio. Does it have an FM radio? The answer to that is no. There's no FM radio on here. And then probably the most gotten question, which I'm going to do a full video on, but I'll just give you the short answer right now. Would I pick this phone or the OnePlus 3 at this point? Would I pick the Axon 7 over the OnePlus 3? My answer is I'm taking the OnePlus 3 still for one very simple reason. The OnePlus 3, better software, you've got developer support, you've got the ability to unlock it. If ZTE fixes those things, because I don't like some of the software stuff on here, if you see my last video, you'll see why. If they fix those things, then I might say this phone because the hardware overall is better, save for maybe the camera. I've got to do some comparisons. But the hardware is overall better in most places on this phone. But I think software is more important, so I'm still going with the OnePlus 3 at this point in time. All right, guys. So also, if you guys enjoyed my Axon 7 coverage, please do me a favor. I just dropped an unboxing on the Moto Z Force Droid. If you guys would go over there and give me a like, give me a view, really appreciate it. I really been working hard these last few days, pumping out video coverage for you guys of this phone and also of the Moto Z. So I really appreciate you guys watching. You guys can find me on dopetechdaily.com, Google+, Instagram, and Twitter at the links in the description. Please like and subscribe if you guys enjoy the content so you can see more stuff like this in the future. I really appreciate you guys checking out this video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Thanks a lot for watching.